President Obama yesterday was at the UN, and he gave a speech, and it was disturbing on many levels. The first level is he is not telling the world what he has told you. Listen to what he said.
The future must not belong to those who slander the Prophet of Islam. But to be credible, those who condemn that slander must also condemn the hate we see in the images of Jesus Christ that are desecrated or churches that are destroyed.
Okay. First of all, the president was blaming the Arab upturn on the video. He's already told you that's not true. His administration has come out and corrected it and said we were wrong about that. Why is he now coming and telling that it is? Because of something you will see in the project tonight at 8 o'clock. We have told you before in Rumors of War 1, 2, and 3 that the Arab world is building a caliphate. But we didn't have the plan until 8 months ago, and it's called the project. It was taken by our government in raids in 2001 and 2004. The first one that was taken was the plan on how to establish a caliphate around the world, a detailed, step-by-step plan designed by the Muslim Brotherhood. It was all in Arabic, translated, and never shown to you. Then in 2004, we found another one, and this one was designed by the Muslim Brotherhood, and it was a detailed plan how to take North America, the United States and Canada, crush Israel, crush the North American continent, get it under control. First thing you have to do is get rid of all of the moderate Muslims and make sure you control them. You do it through, this is their own words, through CARE, through ISNA, and you take control. Tonight at 5 o'clock, we're going to show you some things that are happening on the streets of New York right now that will boggle your mind, especially after you see tonight, part 1, and tomorrow, part 2, at 8 p.m. on The Blaze, The Project. He's telling us in this speech that we need to reject any slander against Muhammad. This goes against our First Amendment. But this, again, is one of the last steps in the project. Get all slander to be illegal all over the world, because if we can shut people up, they win. But he also goes on, and this is the part that people say, well, that's not so bad, because look, he also said this about Christians. We also have to condemn the images of seeing the Savior blasphemed or churches destroyed. So what are we going to do? We'll shut down all speech, even against Islam. We might also want to try to stop a crucifix from being dropped in urine and put on display. We also might want to speak out about churches that are being burned. Well, yes, Mr. President, we'd love you to do that. They're burning them right now. The Coptic Christians are being killed. There are now reports out of the Middle East that some of them are being crucified, and we know that their churches have been bombed and burned to the ground. Christians are fleeing Egypt. I haven't heard you talk about it, Mr. President. We've begged you to talk about it. You won't. Christians are the ones that are under attack in the world. So once again, Obama has drawn this false equivalency here between the slaughter of innocent Americans who had nothing to do with this pathetic YouTube video that supposedly started all this, but did not start all of this. But even knowing that this isn't the cause of the violence, again, yesterday, Obama blames it on the video and saying that it led to the burning of embassies and property and rioting outside of dozens of embassies around the world and the killing of 4 American citizens. Every time Islamic extremism is spotlighted in this country, suddenly from every angle Christianity comes under attack. Every time. What was it that Rosie O'Donnell once claimed?
And just one second, radical Christianity is just as threatening as radical Islam in a country like America.
Really? Is it? On one hand, from extremist Muslims, human beings are beheaded so graphically on videotape that some of my own security personnel who have witnessed things in war could not watch some of the latest beheadings because they have to hack them off slowly before the person is dead. Things that turned soldiers' stomachs and said, I can't even watch this. It's too beyond anything I've ever seen. Human beings being beheaded, blown up, stoned to death, sodomized, murdered. On the other hand, what is it exactly Christians have done? Because I know it was Christians that led the way to freedom and liberty. It was Christians that freed the world. It was Christians under the tutelage of George Whitefield that actually set the world free in the first great war of independence. The first time in world history man had it was because of Christians. What stopped the Salem witch trial? Christians. What stopped slavery in the United States and all over the world, except for places like Africa still today? Christians. What stopped the Nazis? Christians. What will stop this nightmare in the world? We're 40 days away from the election. 40 days of prayer and fasting. I beg you, begin it today. Christians will stop it. It was Christians that ran the Underground Railroad. Christians that stood up by the side of Abraham Lincoln. Christians again began the outcry that led to defeating of the Nazis. It was Christians. Martin Luther King, he was a preacher and not one of these Al Sharpton preachers, an actual God-fearing, Bible-quoting, not kind of Jeremiah Wright, I'm still in Bible country, but an actual Christian that led it. So tell me again the evil that Christians have done. Somebody listening right now, probably monitoring from some George Soros-funded organization, would say, it's abortion clinics. That's what Christians have done. Okay, all right, it's abortion. So they're killing and murdering and bombing abortion doctors and everybody around them. Really, let's look into the facts. First of all, let me be clear. If it happens once, that's one time too many. Real Christians deplore violence in the name of God. No sane Christian, no sane person believes that bombing a building or shooting someone is okay. When you believe abortion is the murder of an unborn baby, what kind of sense does it make to murder someone to stop murder? It's not war. There's a difference. One's murder, one's war. Check it out with God. Any Christian knows the difference. It's insanity. Christians nearly unanimously condemn and are outraged by this act. This isn't the Middle East, where, what is it, 75% say it's okay to kill? How many people are rioting in the streets right now, calling for the death of anyone involved with a movie? How many people in the Arab world say terrorism is okay? Let's compare, shall we?